All right, let's talk about something every dog owner knows if you live somewhere hot and humid like Singapore. The climate? It gets into everything, especially your dog's gear. Today, we're going to zero in on one piece of equipment that causes a ton of headaches, the humble dog leash. So let me ask you this. You ever go to grab your dog's leash for a walk and it just feels clammy? You know what I'm talking about. It has that permanent damp feeling, even though you swear you cleaned it. It just never seems to get 100% dry, right? It's a super common frustration, believe me. Well, I've got some good news for you. It's not you. You're not doing anything wrong and you're not imagining it. The real problem is that the standard issue leash you probably have just wasn't made to handle the kind of relentless humidity we deal with every single day. Okay, so let's break down what's actually happening here. In a tropical climate, the air is just full of moisture. That means things don't dry out. So when your leash gets wet, from rain, a puddle, or even just the sweat on your hand, it just stays wet. And that creates this constant damp cycle that's really bad for the leash itself, and honestly, it's not great for you or your dog either. Now, let's talk about the usual suspect, the nylon leash. I mean, they're everywhere. They're cheap, they're light, and look, in a nice dry climate, they work just fine. But the minute you throw constant humidity into the mix, well, some of its best features suddenly become its biggest flaws. And this really shows you the downward spiral. First, that nylon material basically acts like a sponge, just soaking up moisture from everywhere. Then, because it never has a chance to fully dry out, those damp fibers become the perfect little home for bacteria and mold. That leads directly to that, you know the one, that funky, wet dog leash smell. And finally, this constant wet and sort of dry cycle just wrecks the material, making the fibers weak and frayed, especially right up near the clip. And this is a really critical point. That smell isn't just a little unpleasant. It's actually a warning sign. It's telling you that there's a bunch of microbial gunk growing on a piece of equipment that you and your dog handle every single day. Kind of gross when you think about it. Okay, enough about the problem. Let's get to the solution, because there is a great one. This is where waterproof leashes come in and completely change the game. They are literally designed to deal with every single one of the issues we just talked about. Let's just put them head to head here. Look at that hygiene and odor column. See how nylon just absorbs everything? Well, the waterproof leash has a non-porous surface, which means there's literally nowhere for the bacteria and smells to hide. And maintenance? Oh man, nylon needs a whole washing and drying process. A waterproof leash? You just give it a quick rinse, a wipe, and boom, it's dry. When you look at durability and overall suitability for the climate, it's just a no-brainer. But wait, we're not done. The material of the leash is really only half the story. We absolutely cannot forget about the hardware. You know, the clip, the D-rings. In a humid, rainy place, the kind of metal you have is just as important as the strap it's attached to. So most of your budget-friendly leashes, they use a zinc alloy. And sure, it's cheap, but it rusts and chips like crazy in damp air. The spring inside can get weak, and that is a major safety risk. But on the other hand, you've got the real workhorses, stainless steel or solid brass. These guys are super resistant to rust and corrosion, which makes them a way safer and much more reliable long-term choice for our kind of weather. Okay, I know what you're probably thinking right now. Yeah, but those waterproof leashes with the good hardware, they cost more. And you're right, the initial price tag is higher, but we've got to look at the true cost, the cost over the life of the leash. This chart lays it out perfectly. Look, you might buy a new nylon leash every year, maybe even more often, because they get so stinky and frayed. You can see those 3 separate bars. But when you add up the cost of replacing them over, say, 3 years, you often find that the one waterproof leash, the one with the higher price up front, actually ends up being the cheaper option in the long run. So what's the big takeaway here? It's really simple. Invest once in gear that's actually built for the reality of your climate. It's going to save you money over time. It cuts way down on cleaning hassles, and it gives you a much nicer, more hygienic, and more reliable tool for walking your best friend. And I'll just leave you with this one question. Your dog's leash isn't just some accessory, right? It's a critical tool you rely on every single day. So maybe next time you pick yours up, take a good look at it and ask yourself, is this thing really built for my daily reality?